Hey there, my name is Anna, and today's class is a great one to take if you've got some time that you can step away from work or studying, and we're going to work on opening up through the ribs and the side body, which is an area that I always notice gets really tight for me when I am doing a lot of desk work. So we won't necessarily be using any props today, but if you'd like to have blocks or a blanket or anything else, please feel free to grab that, and we'll come down onto our backs to get started. So sitting yourself up on your back here, you can have your knees bent or straight. And just take a moment, notice your breath. Anything that you've been working on up until this point. And just for the time being, see if you can set it aside. And allow yourself to be fully present in your body. Noticing your inhales and your exhales, moving in and out of your nose. And if you're finding that you showed up just a little bit, maybe feeling a little shaken up, just give a little bit more of an emphasis to your exhale. Make it a little bit longer, a little bit slower. We'll just keep that breath going here. So you place your hands on your thighs and start to scoop your tailbone under slightly. And then using your glutes, like they're pushing up into your hands. You're gonna lift the pelvis. And really check in, make sure that you feel the glutes working here. You can really drive down into your heels. And then let's take the arms up toward the ceiling and we'll interlace the fingers. And then think about reaching the knuckles up toward the ceiling. So it's almost like you take the center of the chest and kind of push it down into the floor. So we're just working to open up a little bit of the space kind of inside the shoulder blades. Take one more breath there. And then we'll just bring the shoulders and the shoulder blades back to neutral so you feel them kind of flat on the floor there. And let's turn the palms up and the fingers will point away from you. So we'll take the left hand to the right fingers and just start to pull them back. As you're doing that, you can add on a little pulse in the glutes if you like. And switch hands, right hand pulls the left fingers back. And you can let your arms come down, slowly lower, one vertebra at a time, all the way down. Okay, so interlace your hands behind your head. Gonna cup the skull, hug the elbows in. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, lift up off the shoulder blades. Hug down in the belly. It's like you're pulling down toward your sacrum there. Right knee lifts up over the hip. Not changing your pelvis. Right foot steps down. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift up. Look down. Hug your belly. Hug the front body down toward the floor, and then lift the left knee up without changing any of that. Inhale, set the foot down and lower. Adding on here, exhale, lift up. Right knee lifts up. Keep pulling the pubic bone up, the side ribs in. Left arm, make a fist with your hand, reach that arm forward, and then punch the arm forward from the shoulder blade. So you feel like you're pulling that shoulder blade on the left side away from the spine. Hand behind the head, foot down, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Big pubic bone up, front body down, left knee lifts, right arm make a fist, and then punch that arm forward like you're moving from this right shoulder blade. Hand behind the head, foot down, inhale, lower. Just gonna add on one more piece there. Exhale, lift. Right knee will lift. Now add a slight turn to the right, but really keeping everything consolidated and hugged in the belly. Left arm, punch it outside of the right leg, and then reach the arm more from the shoulder blade. Ooh, holy moly. Left hand behind the head, foot down, inhale, lower. Last time, exhale, lift. Left knee will lift. Slight turn to the left, just really, really small. Stay consolidated and hug down in the belly. Right arm reaches outside the left leg, and then reach that arm more from the shoulder blade. Right hand behind the head, foot down, and release. Beautiful. Let's roll over onto your side, and we'll come up all the way into a tabletop here. You can be on your hands and knees. Shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. We'll go right into some cat and cows. Start to turn the tailbone up slightly. Just soften a little bit in the belly, and then really think. Soften the middle back, the space in between the shoulder blades. Maybe the gaze lifts ever so slightly. And then reverse that. So curl the tailbone under, lift in the belly, lift the middle back, the space in between the shoulder blades. You can drop your head. Do one more of those. Just on your own here, noticing any particular maybe places in your spine that feel like they don't move as well. And just send a little bit more of your focus and your emphasis there, so that we're not just moving the places that move easily in these huge ranges of motion. Rather, we're just identifying the places maybe that need a little bit more awareness. All right, so we'll come back to neutral here. We'll do a little open the book move. So we're going to take the right arm, thread it underneath the left, and then push into the left hand and open the ribs to the right, and the arm can float up. So thread the right arm under, push the floor away, and open up. Keep going there. You've got 3 more here on your own. So keeping the gaze relaxed so we're not looking up at the ceiling. The arm is only moving as an extension of how far the ribs are able to move. Right, so really focus on moving at your trunk. Last one. Right hand comes down. We'll thread the left arm under. Push the floor away with the right hand. Turn the ribs to open you up. Thread under. Think about rotating just from the rib cage. Right, and if it doesn't move much at all, totally fine. Most of us do not have a ton of rotation here. Let's do one more. All right, we'll plant the hands, spread the fingers nice and wide. Coming into down dog, you can always have the hands on blocks there. Tuck the toes and send the hip creases high. Just let your head relax. Now keep really pushing the floor of the blocks away as you start to walk one foot forward at a time, coming up as far as you're able, and then we'll just rise to stand. All right, so coming to the front here, take an inhale, bring your arms forward and up. As you exhale, sit back in the hip creases. Hands can be on blocks or the floor. We'll step the right foot back, and let's lower the knee, keep the toes tucked here. We want a neutral pelvis, so right hip is over the knee, right glute is squeezing so that we are creating more space in the front of this right thigh. Left hand makes a fist, and bring it like on top of your right glute, and the right arm will reach up. So think about kind of like wrapping that right glute down with your fist as you lift up more in the front of the thigh. Can reach the right fingers up a little bit here. And if it feels nice, think about arcing up and over to the left, as if there was like something in the left side of your waist. You were lifting up and over it. Take one more breath. And then we'll take the right hand down, floor or block. Hug this right shoulder down away from the ear. So it's like we're securing it in place here. And then we'll lean back into that shoulder blade as you take the left arm up. Wrap the left arm under the left thigh and open it back up. Wrap it under. Open it up. Keep that right shoulder blade hugged down, and so that we're not letting that right shoulder move all over the place. Hold this last one here, left arm up, right ear can come toward the shoulder. And then side lunge, left hand comes down, turn your feet to the long edge of the mat, parallel your feet, and then sit back into this right hip crease. So we're feeding that right hip crease back and the spine stays long. You can always have your hands maybe on blocks here or on your thighs. And then we'll turn to face the back. Cross the left ankle behind the right. You can be up on the fingertips or have the hands on blocks again. And just see if you can shimmy the ribs a little bit side to side. So sometimes it's nice to even have the hands on the ribs, like give them a little motivation. Awesome. Back through center. We're going to step down into this right foot, rise all the way up to stand, and lift the left knee. If that's too much, you can always have the toes on the floor or hold on to something with the right hand. Squeeze this right glute though, so stand tall on the right leg, like you're lifting up and out of the hip. Now without changing your pelvis, maybe add a slight rotation, right hand to the left knee. Stand really tall on that right leg, you got it. Left leg will step back to open us up for like a goddess squat here. Bloop. Let's take the right hand on the right thigh. Left arm will reach up and over. Just let your head kind of relax here as we move. Left hand comes to the left thigh, and the right arm will reach up and over. Right hand to the right thigh, reach, and left hand to the left thigh, right arm reaches. Turn to face the front, plant the hands floor or blocks, and step the feet together. Rise to stand. Second side. Inhale, arms come forward and up. Exhale, hinge back in the hips. Plant the hands. This time we'll step the left foot back. Lower the knee, but not the toes here. Left hip is over the knee. Get this left glute on, so we're opening the front of the left thigh. Right hand makes a fist and lands on top of your left glute. as the left arm reaches up. Kind of think about like almost pushing down with your fist there, squeezing your left glute. Maybe the left fingers reach up a little bit higher, and you imagine like a bar or something right on the right side of your waist. Think about lifting up and over it. Don't let that left glute go. One more breath. Left hand will land, floor or block. Hug this left shoulder blade down. So we're securing the left shoulder, not letting it roll forward here. We'll lift the right arm up. Thread the right arm underneath the right thigh. Open it up. Thread it under. Open it up. Last couple. We'll bring the right hand down, turn to your left, parallel your feet, and then sit back into the left hip crease. So you can take your fingers in that left hip and really send that thigh bone back. Keep the spine long. Couple breaths here. Turn to face the back of the mat. Right foot comes behind the left, and you can bend the knees a little bit. Just add on that little shimmy in the ribs. You can always have the hands up on something. Nice, come back through center. This time we are going to step on the left foot. So really drive down into that left foot, stand tall, right knee lifts up. Check in with this left glute, really squeeze it. Feel like you are lifting, like you're standing so tall, it's like you're lifting yourself up, like out of that left hip. Maybe the left hand comes to the right knee, and you add on just a really slight turn, keeping the pelvis steady. Awesome. Right foot steps back, and we come into a goddess squat here. So you can always play around with kind of the angle, positioning of your feet. And then we'll take the left hand to the left thigh, right arm reaches up and over. Right hand to the right thigh, left arm up. One more each side. Breathe into that right waist. And breathe into the left. We'll turn to face the front. Downward facing dog this time. Slide the right foot back. And then just do whatever feels nice here, so you can pedal out the feet a little bit. Or even come up onto the toes and swivel the pelvis side to side, so the knees move right and left, keeping the belly lifted. You can lower down to your knees, and if you have the time, please come onto your back, take a Shavasana, finish off with a couple minutes of that if you have it. If not, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.